Yeah, the tires make a huge difference. These 50s are like ultra smooth. Today we're going to have a conversation around gravel tires, and the goal of this conversation is to not get into the nitty-gritty details of it. I know you can very quickly start talking about rolling resistance and rubber compounds and tread patterns and all of those details. Really, the conversation is to focus on tire pressure and tire width and just my personal preferences, what I look for in a tire, what I recommend when you're looking at gravel tires. For me personally, I think gravel tires are more important than the bike choice. If you have the wrong tire, you just won't have a good experience on your gravel bike. So tire choice is very important on gravel bikes. I think on a mountain bike, you're primarily riding single track, so you kind of know what the terrain's gonna be like. And the same is true on a road bike. You're primarily riding the road and you select a tire based off of the places that you ride and the type of tire that you want. Whereas for me, gravel biking is such varied terrain that I need a tire that works well in a variety of different places. I ride out my front door on road. I ride to a gravel road that is light, that turns into a rougher gravel road, that can sometimes turn into single track if I want it, and then I have to ride home on the road. So for me, tire choice is important because I'm gonna ride like 5 or 6 different types of terrain on a single, morning ride for me. And that's why getting the tire choice right is very important. Keep in mind, I live in Utah, so most of my riding is going to be hard pack, kind of dry gravel roads, dry track, single track, things like that. So depending on where you're riding and the type of dirt and climate that you have, you may adapt the tire to that. But it's mostly dry, kind of hard pack dirt for me. All right, so these are the 2 tires that I've been running as of late. You can see the size differences. They're pretty obvious between these two. So on the left side, we have the Continental Terra Hardpack. This is in a 50 mil. Probably the biggest I would run as far as gravel tire goes. This kind of has a center patch that is smooth, and then as you lean into it, you get some more knobbies on the side. On the right side, we have the Specialized Pathfinder Pro. This is a 38, so quite a bit smaller. Same kind of principle here. We have a smooth center patch with some knobs, and as you get into it, you have some more knobs. For me personally, I put a lot of miles on these Specialized Pathfinder Pros. These are great tires if you're gonna do a variety of road riding and gravel biking. This center patch is really efficient, and then as you get in the gravel, you have more options as well with the tread pattern. The Continental Terra Hardpack, this tire has actually been one of the funnest tires that I've ridden as of late. And I can't decide if it's because it's just really wide and it's super comfortable, or if it's the tire and the tread pattern, but I really love this 50 mil tire. I'm convinced now, and for the most part, I will always reach for a wider tire unless I'm going to do a lot of road biking. The Specialized Pathfinder, again, is going to be a great all-rounder. I've used this tire a lot. The Continental Terra Hardpack, this is for those rougher terrains. You can get a lot of performance out of this tire. The one thing I really love about it is you can run the tire pressures in a variety of different terrains. For an example, last week I did a bigger loop that was half gravel, half road bike. I started out on the road, so I pumped these up to 40 PSI. And then as I got to the gravel section, I let them down to 20 PSI. So between those 2 different tire pressures, you get a lot of different variability and performance out of the tires. Running this Continental at a 20 is so comfortable. It soaks up all the little bit of chatter. It's a super fun and versatile tire. Whereas the Specialized Pathfinders, I typically run these 45 to 50, maybe 40 to 50 as far as PSI goes. And I don't really change it a whole lot. I kind of leave them in that, whether I'm riding on the road or whether I'm riding on gravel, mainly because it's a skinnier tire and you don't have a lot to play with as far as tire pressures go. You gotta kind of keep it high, that way you're not riding on the rim or doing any damage to the rim. The one caveat I will say with this, the Continental Terra Hardpack, is as you get into the lower tire pressures, the actual sidewall does not support very well. The sidewall is not very strong, and it will actually get really squishy on you. So as you get into kind of the higher or the lower tire pressures, keep in mind that that sidewall will get a little bit squishier, and it just makes for, on like the turning and as you're riding, it makes for kind of a squirrely tire when you're running those lower tire pressures. I'm currently running the two extremes of tires. So the 50 mil tire is on the bigger end and the 38 is on the smaller end. Ideally, kind of my thoughts on it are, if you're gonna do mostly road biking, you can get away with a 38, but at a starting point, I feel like for tire size on gravel bikes, the starting point needs to be around like a 42 or larger. On the flip side, the biggest you should really go, in my opinion, unless you're gonna do like really rough riding, is like a 47. Anything bigger than that, you're really just getting into mountain biking territory, and then the same thing on the smaller side. Anything smaller than a 38, you might as well just own a road bike. So ideally, my kind of sweet spot is gonna be something between like a 42 and a 47, with a center patch that is smooth for efficient road riding, and then knobs on the side, so as you get into rougher gravel riding, as you're leaning into it, you have those additional knobs that can kind of help work through that stuff with you. Suffice it to say, you should always be running tubeless at this point. If you're not running tubeless, like, it's the way to go. Less punctures, less rolling resistance. I just always run tubeless. It's kind of a no-brainer at this point. The only preference I have on tubeless is I always run like the original Stans tubeless. It's the best one that I've found. Some of the other brands, they just haven't worked for me the way the Stans has. So that was tried and true for me. I just stick with kind of what I know when it comes to tubeless. So in kind of summary on this, my thoughts are, tires are hugely important. Tires are gonna make or break your gravel riding experience. If you have the wrong tire, it won't be a fun experience. But if you get the tire right, you'll have a lot of fun on your gravel bike. Again, I'm thinking center tire, smooth for less rolling resistance, something between a 42 and a 47. There's lots of good brands out there. I preference by saying, like, if you do a lot of mixed riding, the Specialized Pathfinder Pros are great. I really like the Terra Hardpacks. The Tracer was a good tire. I would say the Tracer is a good tire if you primarily ride in the dirt. It does have quite a bit of knobs on it. So there's a lot of different tires that you can ride. I'm gonna put together a separate video on all the tires that I've been riding as of late and what they're like. So look for that as it comes out. Feel free to subscribe. Yeah, I would love to hear what everyone is riding as far as tires go. I know there's a lot of different gravel tires that you're riding out there. So feel free to throw a comment in this video on the tires you're riding, what you prefer as far as width and tire pressure goes. Really curious what everyone is riding out there. Is it because it's connected to my phone that it turns off so quick? Is that what the issue is?